Hello everybody, so today's video, you've probably or maybe have heard of it. I know that Danielle Hallen did a video of this case, I believe at least a year ago, which is how I heard of it, and it's always stuck with me. It's always made me feel a little weird. And then I don't want to say I forgot it. I remembered the information, but I kind of forgot her name if I'm being completely honest. And then when I was looking up people to talk about, I came across Courtney Holden, and it kind of felt familiar. And then I started to look into the information, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to talk about it. This is the case that stuck with me for so long. And it might be hard for you to hear. It's just when I get into the specifics about it, it's gonna make you feel a little icky. So I'm just putting that out there. It's very sad. But I do want to talk about her case. And like I said, we're going to be talking about Courtney Holden today. So Courtney was 27 years old, and people say that she was a loving and devoted mother, and she would never just leave her son voluntarily. There hasn't been a credible sighting of her since 2018. Unfortunately, I could find very little about Courtney, like who she was, what she was into, just her as a person, which makes me really sad. I also couldn't find very many photos of her, but I also could find very little about this case in general. So I'm just putting that out there. People do believe that she is deceased, including Michael Dowd, who is the father of her son. So Courtney was a young mom of an adopted son who was living in Spokane, Washington. Growing up, she was in the foster care system and dreamed of being adopted, but her experience would be a nightmare. Her adoptive mom, Judy Holden, and her adopted brother, Joshua, were unkind and condescending to her, and they often referred to her as Cindy, as in Cinderella. While she did household chores, they made her basically do everything. She was rarely allowed to leave the family home, and if she did, there were signs of abuse when she did leave. She wasn't allowed to have a cell phone or a car. Witnesses would tell police that her son would call Judy mom and Joshua daddy, which is, first of all, so fucking creepy, so icky. I know you guys don't like it when I curse, but like this situation calls for it. To have your adopted daughter's son call you mom and your son daddy is just so gross. Like that is like the connotation is just kind of weird for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I would not want my child to be referred to as like the father and I the mother. That's icky vibes. It's just gross. And ginormous red flags. Just ginormous red flags. Like that child is not even technically her own because they're like taking that from her by making this child call them mom and dad, you know. The Holden residence had many security cameras on the outside, and Courtney told a neighbor that she was afraid to leave without permission from Joshua. A neighbor also asked her about the bruises, and she said that Joshua would beat on her. When Joshua found out she had a Facebook account and was using it to talk to people, she was forced to stop using it. Courtney had been taking prescription medication for a year or two prior to her disappearance, getting a refill every month or two. The last refill she got was in July 2018, and the last time anyone outside the family saw her was that summer. One neighbor saw her carrying a duffel bag out of the front door of the house, and Judy was chasing after her, calling for her to come back, and Courtney said, quote, "I'm not staying here anymore," end quote. Joshua then forcibly picked her up and carried her back inside. No one is known to have seen her since, although money continued to get withdrawn from her bank account, and groceries kept being purchased with her food stamps. Josh and Judy told various stories to explain her absence, such as that she was traveling with a boyfriend who was a long-range truck driver, that she ran off with a fiance, or she was home with them, just wasn't available to see or speak with anyone. She would not be reported missing until October 2019, more than a year later, and this would happen because Michael would report her missing, the father of her son. And it was also reported by Michael and his current girlfriend, and they had asked police to perform a welfare check, which honestly should have been done way earlier, in my opinion. When cops went to the Holden home, Courtney was gone, obviously, and Josh and Judy didn't want to cooperate with them. Judy did reluctantly eventually show police Courtney's room, and police, they noted that the mattress was bare and didn't look as if anyone had stayed there for a while, after Judy asked them to leave. Police opened up a missing persons investigation, and the day it was filed, money was withdrawn from her account, and a woman who claimed she was Courtney called crime line to say that she was fine. A police uh, detective or dispatcher also spoke to someone who claimed to be Courtney. So it really seems like Josh and Judy is having people like step up and pretend to be this girl. Like, hey, like if they're on to us, like call them, say like I'm fine, I'm Courtney, and all of this stuff. And it's icky. It's icky. The caller turned out to be Courtney's adoptive sister. So I guess Josh's sister. By October 24th, police went to the Holden's home to execute a search warrant and discovered Josh and Judy had moved away, taking their 6 pets and the DVR from the surveillance system. Cops searched the house with cadaver dogs, but didn't find anything of interest. In mid-December, police located them in Texas, where they were living with one of Judy's daughters, and they had Courtney's son with them. So her son was put into the care of his dad, Michael, and the Holdens were arrested and charged with identity theft and custodial interference. In 2021, the legal case against Josh and Judy was resolved. Josh pled guilty to custodial interference and criminal mischief and sentenced to 135 days in jail with credit for time served. Judy pled guilty to second-degree custodial interference, and neither have been charged with Courtney's disappearance. Josh has a prior arrest record, and family members have said that he had said that it would be easy for him to kill someone and hide the body. Family and neighbors describe him as, quote, dangerous, violent, and unpredictable. And they also said that Judy seems afraid of her own son. He was also charged with rape in 2005, but that case was dropped. So I do have a description for Courtney. She would now be 31, 5'5" to 5'7", 180 or 170 pounds, somewhere around there. And she is a Native American. I don't know what tribe. I guess there was no information on what tribe she is enrolled in, but she is a Native American with black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information, if you've seen her, if you have any information about the day that she went missing, if you've noticed anything fishy about these people doing anything, you are urged to contact Spokane Police Department at 509-755-2489. Again, the phone number for Spokane Police Department is 509-755-2489. So let's talk about it real quick. If you hear snoring, that is my dog. She is right next to me and she gets really loud. I just noticed this in the last few minutes that she was getting progressively louder, so I am very sorry. But let's go ahead and talk about this really quickly. So I don't know about you, but I was getting the ick the entire time I was telling you guys this, because to me, quite frankly, it seems very obvious to me what could have happened. And I 100% think, allegedly, that Josh and Judy are involved. Family members have said that he thinks it would be easy for him to kill someone and hide the body. Family and neighbors are saying that he is unpredictable, he's dangerous, he's aggressive, he's a mean person. His mother is supposedly afraid of him. It makes sense that he would probably be the instigator um, that would harm Courtney. Like, Judy was definitely very nasty, um, making her do everything, calling her Cinderella, Cindy, whatever, having her son call her mother. It's gross. Um, she's obviously not a good person and definitely had a hand in the abuse, but I definitely think that Josh was the instigator and was definitely probably the main force behind it. And I think that it was probably him that did something to Courtney, and Judy helped him cover it up, whether it's because she's afraid of him or she's just that evil of a person. I definitely think that they did something that day that she was like, you know what, I have enough. I'm not staying here anymore. She got a duffel bag and she was leaving. When he grabbed her and pulled her back into that house, I don't think she was alive for that much longer after. I think it probably makes sense that he probably beat her to death because he is known to have beat her. She said it herself, to neighbors that he would beat on her. She had physical evidence of this happening, the bruises and stuff. So I think he likely probably beat her to death. And I don't know what they would have done with her body. Um, they could have, thrown it in the trash or something like that. I don't have an answer for that. Um, but I definitely think that when she went back into that house, she would not come back out alive again. And considering nobody really saw her after that, I think that kind of, like, in a way, kind of confirms that. I think they were so upset that she had reached her breaking point that they were going to lose this person that they could beat on and trample around. And I think that, Josh pulled her back inside and he did something. And yeah, I definitely agree that she is no longer with us. I cannot believe that there's just nothing else here, that they haven't been able to find anything, supposedly, that could link these people to her case. To me, it just feels so obvious with what we have. Like, who else would have done it to her? I can't believe they spent so little time in jail. But I sincerely hope that information comes out and they are sent back to jail for her disappearance, and we finally get some answers, because it feels gross knowing that they're out. I don't think they deserve to be. I think they had a hand in this, and Courtney is not getting the justice that she deserves. And I just want to say really quickly, Judy could have also been helping Josh, because in a way, I don't think we quite know what kind of relationship they had with each other, because the fact that they had Courtney's adopted son and they were making the son call Judy mom and Josh daddy, that feels a little weird. It kind of makes me question what kind of relationship they actually had. It feels a little incestuous in a way. I don't know about you, but that was the vibe I'm getting. Um, I don't know. That's just, we don't. There's no other like evidence of this. But, like, that's the vibe I was getting. Um, but yeah, that is all I have for you guys about the case of Courtney Holden. Again, the phone number for Spokane Police Department is 509-755-2489. Please, if you have any information, please call that number. It is so sad that this happened to sweet Courtney. She had such a horrible life. She just wanted a family, and then the family she got wasn't even really that. They just used her as like a slave in their house. And then, in my opinion, they killed her. But thankfully, her son is with his father and is out of that house. Um, but let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for listening to Courtney's story, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.